Everybody else is.
Everybody else is. Hell, let me, you don't mind? I talked to Southfield after the last meeting. I said, I understand your explanation about the pie, you know, good analogy, that's good. Now, take the jail we've got, that's our pie. Make something work with the pie that we have. Can you do that? Well, we can, but we can't do it without direction from the authority. I said, okay, how about at the next meeting if we have the authority come back to you and say, take the pie you have, see if you can come up with however many beds you can come up with. That may be 50, maybe 60. If you do, then you've got your 100-bed facility. Now, what John was saying, and it sounds like maybe people don't want to listen, but there are some solutions, but you've got to be willing to get off of 100 beds somewhere else or 180 beds somewhere else. 0.3% is not going to pass. You know, come up with, Dwayne's got, you know, the solution here is to come up with people that will come together and say, what can we do to solve the problem that we have in Delaware County with our jail? We need more jail space. What can we do with rural fire department changes? Now, I'm like John, I don't want to see any fire trucks go back, but I think that they can be phased out. I think that there's things that you can do to make that work. Now, does it take some doing? Yeah. Does it take some time and some effort to make those things work? Yes. Are you going to have to give up on some of those ideas of some big facility of 180 or 172 beds? Yeah, you're probably going to have to. Because those, I don't think, in my opinion, is going to pass, particularly in the north part of the county. Now, if you can get if you can change the sales tax in a way where you take some and then you add some, but you keep it below a certain level, you can probably get that to go. But I think the numbers speak for themselves. When Rick says 2/10 won't get it, 3/10 won't get it, go on to something else. You know, it isn't going to get it. So go on to something that will get it. You know, I would suggest that you might get a hold of Southfield and say, okay, we're down to, we've got a facility that's got 62 beds. What can you do with the 62 beds you've got? Now, we've talked about making office space out of it. That's some of the most expensive office space you can ever get. But heck, you can go across the street and buy a little property and make some offices. You know, take the jail you've got, see what you can do with it. Whether that's 40 beds, 50 beds, I don't care what it is, but it would almost double the space that you've got if you got 50 beds. So look at all of those options. I'm not saying that's the answer because I don't know, but you know, at least come together, put your heads together, and if you need people from the council or people from the city of Grove, we need people from South County too, because everybody needs to put their heads together and say, how do we solve the problem?
Well, it really don't look like you need anybody from the south end of the county, because the south end of the county has told me time and time again, you know, what we want.
Okay,
everybody.
All right, I believe South County has to.
Well, fine. But the deal is, if we build 50 beds, Tom, we'll be right where we're at now before we get them paid.
Dave, if you build 172 beds, you're going to fill that sucker and you're going to want more to begin with. You got to come up with some other, you got to think out of the box. You can't keep thinking the way you're thinking. That's insanity to think you're going to change somebody or something doing the same thing over and over again. You got to do something different. There's programs out there. There's people working on trying to come up with, coming back to the DA's office and other people to say, here's some programs, here's some funding that's available. It's coming. It's going to happen. The articles are out there every week. Coming in. We're breaking the state of Oklahoma with incarcerating all the people we've got now. We've got to do something different, and we might as well start right here in Delaware County.